Oh boy, where do we even start with the bloated mess that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe? It's like someone went to the all-you-can-eat buffet and decided to gorge on everything without thinking about the indigestion that was coming their way.
I'm stuffed now. I couldn't have enough. Okay, one more. I'm gonna have one more and then that'll be it.
Honestly, Marvel used to be like that Michelin star meal we all anticipated, a perfect blend of storytelling, character arcs, and action. But now, it's more like someone threw leftovers into a blender and hoped for the best. The sheer number of titles and plotlines Marvel's trying to juggle is like a circus clown spinning a dozen plates, except in this case, half the plates have already shattered on the ground, and no one's really cleaning up the mess. And let's talk about how many plot threads they've abandoned along the way. It's like Marvel is the friend who promises to come help you move but ghosts you after an hour. We've got arcs that were hyped up like they were going to change the universe, only to fizzle out like a cheap firework. Remember Secret Invasion? Yeah, neither do I. With a 52% score, it's already halfway buried in Marvel's graveyard of failed experiments. And now we're gifted with Agatha All Along. Oh, you didn't ask for it? Neither did we, but here it is anyway. It's like the cousin who shows up uninvited to Thanksgiving and expects everyone to be thrilled they made it. Sure, WandaVision was great, everyone and their grandma loved it. But Agatha All Along, it's a spin-off nobody screamed for, yet Marvel decided it was a good idea to drag that side character into the limelight and slap her name on the marquee. But I'd rather rewatch WandaVision's best moments on YouTube than sit through something that critics are calling deliciously chaotic. What does that even mean, deliciously chaotic? It sounds like the critic had a few too many mimosas before writing that review. Look, I get it. Critics want to be nice, throw in a few positive words, but 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's barely passing. It's like Marvel is back in high school, scraping by with a D and pretending like they aced the exam. And don't even get me started on the 52% Secret Invasion got. I mean, even Agatha, the witch who stole the show for like 10 minutes in WandaVision, barely cracked to 76% with viewers. That's like your mom telling you that you're special when your school project is just macaroni glued to construction paper. The real issue is that people just don't care as much anymore. It's hard to get hyped about Marvel when you're being bombarded with new titles every other month. Remember when a Marvel movie was an event? Now it's like, oh look, another one. Can I just binge watch something else instead even miss? Marvel, which critics raved about, couldn't pull decent viewership numbers. The show was alright, but at this point people are so Marvel fatigued, they're not even showing up to the party. And then there's the issue of money. These shows are like big budget blockbusters with budgets that rival the GDP of small countries. A She-Hulk budget of $225 million? I'm sorry, but for that amount of cash, I expect to be floored. I expect Marvel to pay my rent. But instead, we got CGI that looked like it was animated by someone's intern. And that's after VFX houses were working themselves to the bone, trying to meet Marvel's insane deadlines. Marvel is the worst kind of boss, constantly overworking its teams and then wondering why the product looks half-baked. Bob Iger and Kevin Feige have finally woken up and realized maybe, just maybe, shoving a billion shows down our throats wasn't the best plan, so now they're scaling back, aiming for quality over quantity. Should we start clapping now? I mean, after all this time, it's like trying to fix a sinking ship by patching one hole and calling it a day. It's going to take more than one or two good shows to win the audience back. Unless Marvel can pull another Avengers Endgame level of storytelling, they're just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic at this point. The only thing keeping them afloat are nostalgia bombs like Deadpool and Wolverine. That's right, drag out Hugh Jackman, slap him in the yellow suit and watch the fans go wild. It's a cheap trick, but it works because we're all suckers for the good old days when Marvel wasn't a train wreck. But relying on nostalgia only lasts so long. Marvel's going to need more than a witch's cauldron and Deadpool's jokes to get out of this one.